Catalina is here too. Aileen, how are you, babies?
Hi, Miss.
Hello, Aileen, how are you? Are you fine?
Fine.
Fine, good. And you,
Yes.
Catalina, you're fine? Are you okay, Kata? Or are you still in bed? I guess she's not listening to me, Catalina writes. Okay, baby, so we are going to start anyway. So we are going to try to come to the end today with the unit that we are studying, which is unit 4. And yesterday, remember, we were talking about which is better, if it is better to live in the country or in the suburbs or in the city, right? That was the last part. So I'm going to summarize that, right? So as to finish with this section, and then we continue with the page 39, okay? So according to what you told me yesterday, maybe we can say that it's good, I think, for some people, not for all. For example, living in the city, right? Or in the country, right? If you live in the city, I think it's good because of the facilities that the city offers. You see, for example, the cities usually have public transport. I mean, sometimes it could be good or bad, but we have public transport, right? And we also have, for example, lots of entertainment facilities in a city, like pubs, you see, discos, restaurants, theaters, cinemas, and so on, right? And the cost of living is kind of expensive when you are in a city. That's a disadvantage, I think. But we have lots of shops too in a city. When we live in a city, you find different kinds of shops in the main streets, right? Where you can buy things, right? Different kinds of shops or stores. We have, pharmacies, and we have also, you see, let's say, special shops where you can buy shoes, for example, or clothes, and so on. There's another thing is that maybe the lifestyle in a city is varied, right? Because of the maybe the amount of money you need to live, because the rents are expensive in a city and not cheap, right? But at the end, we have, I think, good things and also bad things. We have also a lot of schools in a city, a lot of schools where students go, a lot of universities and institutes, high schools, and so on, right? This is I mean, in general, to summarize, which is better. For some people, it's better, I mean, living in the countryside, because the countryside is quiet. You can also grow, for example, you say vegetables, fruits,
¿Mi?
these kind of
¿Qué
things. Yes.
página estamos viendo?
No, no estoy viendo. Estoy haciendo un feedback. Estoy haciendo un feedback.
Ah, ok.
Ya, de lo que vimos ayer de la última parte. That was the number 9. Del punto 9, Catita, punto 9. Estoy haciendo un review como para iniciar, un feedback, una retroalimentación, feedback. And well, I was telling you about the countryside, that for some people it's a good idea to live in the countryside or in the country, because you see, the country is, as I told you, is quiet. You can have, for example, animals. So maybe it's not so expensive because you can grow your own food, right? So this is something good. Something good is that the countryside is usually not polluted. The only thing that is not good is that the transport is not very good, because you can find sometimes only one bus that runs every 1 hour. So this is something very, you see, let's say, we can say that it's not good, right? It's something bad. It's a disadvantage for people who live, in the countryside. Okay, and living in the suburbs, well, now I think it's a good idea. Living in the suburbs is not bad because you have many facilities too. You have a system of transportation, you have buses and now colectivos that take you to your house, and you have some schools in the suburbs. Nowadays, suburbs are more modern than in the past because they offer you, as I told you, different, let's say, schools where students can go. You have malls, you have different kinds of shops also, and the maybe the suburbs are not as polluted as a city, because the city is usually more polluted than a suburb and the countryside. This is in general, okay? So about these things that you have to know. That was the last part. Only one student. I'm going to choose only one student. Voy a elegir a uno solo. I'm going to choose one student to give me, you see, a little speech, un speech cortito about this thing, this, you see, activity number 9, which is the feedback, the retroalimentación, okay? So, if there is any volunteer, sea algún voluntario o voluntaria, any volunteer, to practice your English, and you can tell me what do you think is better, living in the country or countryside, which is the same thing, the suburbs, or in the city, using your ideas, okay? Which is better according to you? Any volunteer? So as a way of practicing your English, and I can help you.
Yo
Okay, okay, Aileen, thank you. Good. Right.
Okay.
I am all ears. Te escucho.
So the question was,
Question is,
what?
which is better? Which is better, living in the countryside or in the suburbs or in the city, according to you?
In my opinion, I think that it's better
Better.
living in the city
All right.
because you have all the services that you need near and
Okay.
and easy access to health
Yeah.
and also you have many job. How you say?
You have work opportunities. Work
Yeah,
opportunities.
yeah,
Yes.
many work opportunities, and you don't have to move so much to have it.
All right. Okay. Is there another student that want to, let's say, add more information to Eileen's ideas about living in the city? That she says that living in the city is better than living in the countryside or in the suburbs. I can also add that in the city, you can find lots of facilities, right? We can find, for example, parks where children can go and play, right? And we can also find, for example, good roads and sometimes highways to go from one city to another or from one place to another, right? This is something good. And as Eileen said, we have services like, for example, the gas station. I mean, it's something that we find in different places, right? For people who have cars. And you have also hospitals, you see, in the city. I mean, not only one, we have more than one, public and private hospitals. And what else? We have also big malls in the city where people can go and buy different kinds of things, for example, clothes, household items, toys for children, things for the house. We can also find, for example, let's say accessories for women and men, clothes for men and women. You see, we can also find things related to music, different kinds of, you see, goods. All right. We also find good drugstores where you can find medicines and you can buy medicines. And not only medicines, you can also buy, for example, things for, let's say, for example, for for you. And for example, we can buy cosmetics, and we can buy also essential things for you, like you see toothpaste, la pasta de diente, toothpaste, and you see soaps, jabones, and shampoo. You see these things that you can also find in a drugstore, right? Perfumes also, you can buy perfume in these places. Is there something else that you can add? Catalina, would you like to add something? Do you agree with Eileen? Do you think it's better to live in the city than in the countryside?
It's better live in the city
It's
because
better. It's better to live. It's better
it's better to live
Mm-hmm.
in the city because you, ¿cómo se dice? Obtienes
Ya, obtienes qué. Tú tengo que usar el noun.
mejores servicios de salud,
Okay.
service of,
Yeah, you can get. Entonces tienes que usar el get. You can get better health
better
services. Servicios de salud.
health
Better health
services,
services. Yeah. Okay.
more schools, universities, hospitals,
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
and is, ¿cómo se dice?
Mm-hmm.
You can more opportunities for work.
Yeah, as Eileen said, we have more work opportunities. Yes, more work opportunities. Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. And Isidora, what about you? What can you add something else? Do you agree with Eileen and Catalina? Isidora, do you agree with Catalina and Eileen or not?
Yo quiero agregar algo.
Yeah, okay, Macarena, good, excellent, I like it. Go ahead.
I think the to live in a city is good for all the reasons que dieron mis compañeras.
Yeah, all the reasons, hey, come on, Macarena, all the reasons my partners have mentioned. All the reasons my partners have
all the reasons my partners have mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that lifestyle
Good,
is
Macarena.
Stressful.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
Good. Yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah, it's a very good point because, you know.
Because the ruido es como...
the noise.
And the pollution.
Yeah, are very disgusting. Son muy desagradables. Yes, very good. So, the lifestyle, yes, Cata?
También quería agregar así como la contaminación acústica, ¿cómo lo puedo decir en
acoustic
inglés?
contamination o acoustic pollution, cualquiera de los dos. Acoustic pollution, yeah, is, yeah, what happens with the acoustic pollution? So acoustic pollution is what Macarena said, that it has to do with the noise. When there is a lot of noise in the city, we have, a terrible problem that is acoustic pollution. Yes, you're right. I like that because the lifestyle, Macarena said, the lifestyle in a city is stressful. Yes. Sorry, this is correct. Very good. Because the lifestyle in the city is stressful. You see, because, for example, there are many people in the city, there are many cars in the city. Imagine the traffic jams. We have traffic jams every day at different times of the day. So this is stressful also at the end of the day because people start getting nervous because of the time when they are in a traffic jam. That's why you see the lifestyle is stressful in a city because of the traffic jams, the number of people that we have in the city, also because of the acoustic pollution that you have mentioned, right? That's very important too. Good. Muy bien. Very good, babies. Anything else you could add? La Isidora se quedó ahí. Isidora, Edison, do you have something else that you could add to this part? You have good ideas, baby. Ustedes tienen muy buenas ideas. You have to tell us. Compártanlas. Share your ideas with us. Edison, do you have any other idea to add to this? I mean, to the fact of living in the city? Yes or no? Edison? I think Edison is sleeping, maybe. No? Okay, so we can say then these ideas that Catalina, Aileen, and Macarena, you see, Edison, I am agree. I am agree, Edison, please, no diga I am agree. Mire que se lo van a decir, pero ¿cómo es posible que digas? Sorry. Edison, in English, we never say I am agree. We always say I agree. That's it. Good. That's it. That's correct. I agree with my partners. But my question was, Edison, if you had something else to add to this, you know, I mean, let's say conversation, or you see, let's say talking that we
Me?
are having. Yes?
¿Puedo agregar algo más?
Yes, of course.
More traffic,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
and more accidents.
Yeah. Yeah, so living in a city, you see,
Yeah.
it's stressful because we have a lot of traffic and we have a lot of accidents too. Every day we have accidents, right? Every day. Yes, you're right, Catalina. Good. Okay, is that all, babies? No more info? Isidora's, I didn't know what happened with her, but you see, so we have to go on. Yeah, babies. Now we are going to start talking about something that I really don't know. If you have ideas, maybe it's going to be a surprise for me because you know a lot. I don't know, but it has to do with the exercise number 1. Go now to page 39. 39, okay? 39 says speaking at the beginning, right? This is page 39. It's 11. You see, speaking. This is 39. 39, right? Okay, it says work in pairs and discuss the questions. Okay, very interesting question anyway. It says, number 1, how is information about your country's population collected? Okay. Try to understand this. How is information, right? Information about different things, right? How is information about, yeah, but what is the question here? About what? About your country's population collected. So, in other words, how can we collect, you see, information about the population of our country? What do we do to collect the information about, about, you see, our country's population? Okay, Fernanda, you write it census. Así lo escribe, se escribe C, se redonda, C, I, N, S, U, S. Se pronuncia census. Census. Se escribe census. All right? Exactly. That's it. Eso es. That's the word. Okay. So, Fernanda is giving an idea, and she says that the information about the country's population is collected, you see, by, you know, having a census, right? Do you know that a couple of years ago, no hace mucho atrás, a couple of years ago, we had a census. Do you remember? ¿Se acuerdan? We had a census. Maybe, I don't know if you participated, but we participated a lot in the university La UPLA participó muchísimo en el censo, mandó alumnos de la carrera, de pedagogía en inglés, obviamente que eso es voluntario. They were volunteers. So, we participated a lot, even started from our authorities, partiendo por nuestra autoridad, el rector fue a censar, profesores a censar, todo el mundo a censar. So, did you participate in that census? ¿Ustedes participaron? Did you participate in that census, in the last census? La Cata, la Fernanda, la Isidora, el Edison,
No.
Ailén, la Magdalena. Nobody, ninguno. Nobody.
Nope.
No? No, la Sofía? No? Ailén?
No, because
No.
I don't have the age in that time.
Ah, okay. Yeah, good. All right. Y Edison? No, Edison, you didn't? Because of your age? Maybe because of his age. And Isidora? Either, tampoco. Okay. So, I had only one student from the other group that participated in the last census, right? Okay, so something important, you know, our first question we can answer like this, right? So it says, how is information about your country's population collected? The information, the answer could be the information is collected, you see, is collected, you see, by a census, right? This is the answer. So, or you can say Chile, you know, had a census, you see, to collect information about the country's population. Okay, so maybe this is the idea, so that, you know, Chile had a census, you see, to collect information about our country's population. All right? Do you understand or not? This is the way Chile collected, you see, the information about our population, right? So Chile, you know, had a census some years ago. All right? Okay. Next question. It says, has this changed over the last 100 years? Any idea? ¿Alguna idea? Do you have any idea? Any idea about how this changed? How this, I mean, this is refers to the census, the way we collect the information, right? How this changed over the last 100 years?
But change the form?
Yes.
Or
No, it could be in general. I think it could be the form, it could be the way, you know, I mean, or the form, the questions that the form contain, etc.
Yeah.
Contain. So, has this changed? I think it has. Yeah, exactly, Fernanda.
The questions are different.
Yeah, okay. So we
every
can,
time.
yeah, so we can say that this system has changed. Okay, so this system, the system of having a census, has changed over the years. Because as you say, como ustedes dicen, as you say, the questions have changed. Yeah, the type of questions, el tipo de pregunta ha cambiado. The type of questions have changed. The information, la información que piden, the information they require has also changed. También ha cambiado, because they have included new questions. Hay nuevas preguntas, new questions, right? Okay, so we know that the census has changed over, you see, the last 100 years. In what way? Well, in terms of the information, you know, they collect, in terms of the questions that people have to answer, right? Okay, now this is the best question. What kind of information is collected? Any idea? something that you have in mind, from what you have read, from what you have talked to your partners, to your, I mean, also maybe your parents have talked to you about this experience. So what kind of information is collected here?
How many people live in the house?
Yeah, okay. How many people live in a house? Okay. What else?
I think that they also ask what kind of job you make or if you have a job.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes. All right, we have that. What else? Apart from that,
If you are part of a comunidad indígena, I don't know how to say it.
if you are part of any indigenous community, or
Yes.
if you have any, for example, any origin, you see, do you remember that question? ¿Se acuerdan de esa pregunta? Ah, no, pero ustedes no lo hicieron, parece. If you have origin, I mean, if you have any, for example, Mapuches origin or other, you see, origin that we have in Chile. También preguntaron eso. Something about race, de las razas, race. What else? New questions, new questions that they ask. What?
I don't know.
What do you say? I didn't listen to.
That I don't know because I don't ask. The census was my mother who was answered, so I don't know.
Yeah, so you were not asked. Your mother answered the questions. Yeah. Okay, so I had to answer the census, the last census. I remember pretty well the questions, right? First of all, you see, they collected, you see, information, because what kind of information is collected? So they collected, you see, information about basic population characteristics. For example, what? They asked about age, right? They asked about age, about sex, about race, about marital status, about household composition. That means la composición del hogar, right? They asked about family characteristics, also about household size. They asked us whether you own or rent a house, right? So these are the questions that we were asked. They also asked about our background, about our educational background, right? If we studied, I mean, for example, if you studied elementary school, high school, or if you have other studies like university studies. So this is the educational background. What else? They asked about, what else about that?
They ask about the how can spend the money
Yeah,
of different types of things.
yeah. Okay. So, I mean, about how we spend money, how we spend our money. Yeah. All right. They ask if we own, si tenemos, if we own a car, a TV set, these kind of things too. The number of rooms that your house has or your apartment has, etc. Okay. So as you see, there were some, I mean, many questions, right, in this, you see, census. All right. So let's, you know, I mean, try to reinforce this part. So we can summarize this question number 3, that is a speaking part. What kind of information is collected? So what can we say then? So we can say that, Macarena, can you start, you know, I mean, reviewing again this part for all the people? So what kind of information is collected? What kind of info is collected? or Eileen or Catalina, right? Maca, can you explain now with your own words? What kind of information is collected in this?
Information about the things we have in
In the house?
the house,
Yeah.
and the people who lives in the house,
Yeah, people who live. Sin ese, porque people es plural. People who live in the house.
and the people who live in the house.
Yeah. The number of people. Yeah, the number of people who live in the house. The age, la edad de la
The
gente.
jobs,
The jobs they have. Yeah, los trabajos. Okay.
ay, no sé qué más.
The house, they ask about the house or the apartment. If the apartment, whether you own or rent your house. Si usted arrienda o si era propio. They also asked about that. Whether you rent or you own, for example, your house or your apartment. También le preguntan eso.
Also, they questions about the how many rooms are in the house.
Yeah, okay. They also made questions about the house. For example, they asked about the number of rooms you see the house has, or the number of rooms the apartment has. All right. Okay, so, and also they asked about, remember, educational background, que es súper importante. Acuérdate que hay varias preguntas de educational background. Educational background, que significa son en el fondo los estudios que uno tiene. Te preguntan si usted tiene la educación básica completa, so that's elementary school. Después la enseñanza media, if you have, for example, the high school, está completa o no. Or if you have other studies, si tiene ahora other studies, for example, if you studied in the university, si estudió en la universidad, sí o no. And if you had a certificate, si tiene título, etc., right? About your studies. Todas esas cosas preguntan. All these things. Also, they ask you, le preguntan, well, the age, of course. Yo les dije la edad de las personas que están en la casa, the age of the members of the house. Also, sex, el sexo, masculine or feminine, masculino, femenino. No sé si preguntaron si, me acuerdo, no sé si, no me acuerdo bien si preguntaban si neutro o de otras sexos, no me acuerdo. Parece que había una pregunta así, pero no estoy tan segura en este momento. No me recuerdo mucho, pero parece que sí. Well, marital status, te preguntaron por el estado civil, te preguntaban si eras married, casada, single, separated, si eras separada, divorced, si eras divorciada, divorced, si eras widow o widower, viudo o viuda, ¿ya? Todas esas cosas te las preguntan. All these things too. Ya, ¿qué más? Well, these things, origen, si tenía un origen mapuche o de otra etnia, etc. Right? These are the questions, I mean, the information, the kind of information that they collected in the last census. Okay? Yeah. Let's continue because then we can go back again. Después vamos a tener que volver de nuevo un poquito en la número 5, que nos vuelven a preguntar sobre el census, en el ejercicio de speaking. Now we're going to go to the writing, but with a writing, dice, sentence transformations. Okay, what are we going to do here? It says, look at the example sentences in activity 3. Yeah, dice la número 3. ¿Se fijan ahí? Dice 3. Yeah. About population records. Do they mean the same thing or different things? What language do you think is being tested in these sentences? Okay. All right. So it says, exam tip. Una ayudita. Dice, read both sentences and think about what language is being tested. Tienen que pensar en el idioma que se le está evaluando. Yeah? Before you complete the second sentence. This will help you to choose the right words. Okay. For example, in the first part, mire la primera parte. En el 0, donde dice, oh, the first population information was collected 5 5,000 years ago. Imagínense, hace tantos años atrás. 5,000 years ago, 5,000 años atrás. The first population information, fíjense usted que ya hace 5,000 años atrás, ya, bueno, los censos se hacían hace muchos años atrás, por la época de los romanos existía el censo. El censo es antiguo, viene del latín censere, censere significaba estimate, o sea, estimar la cantidad de población. ¿Ya? Así que esto es bien antiguo, venido de miles de años. Dice acá, in this case, in the first part, we're going to rewrite it. Lo vamos a reescribir. Dice, countries have collected, eso está hecho, have collected population information for 5,000 years. Ya, esta frase está pero muy buena porque dice, in the first part, en la primera parte, it tells you when the information was collected. And then in the rewriting, cuando la reescribo, countries have collected information for 5,000 years. Como dice al final, for 5,000 years, when I read it, cuando yo leo esto, when I read this, I immediately notice, me doy cuenta de que yo analizo, esto no se hace al lote, babies, hay que pensarlo bien. You read it, lo leen, read it, think about, piensen, como dice el tip arriba, in what language is being tested. Well, the first sentence is in the past, and then when I rewrite it, I change it. La cambio porque me está dando una información primero que me dice, it tells me, you know, when, see, the first population was collected. Y como yo dije, el censo, ustedes tienen que saber esa información, que el censo existe de miles de años, miles. Y de ahí, desde esa vez, ya de los romanos para adelante, quizás antes, desde esa época hasta la actualidad de hoy, se sigue haciendo los censos, en todo el mundo. No en Chile nomás, en todo el mundo. All right? So, when I think about this, cuando yo pienso en esto, partió aquí. ¿Por qué estoy haciendo esto? Se lo voy a explicar en español porque ustedes tienen que saber que hay un tiempo en inglés que ya lo estaban estudiando. Me parece que lo están estudiando con, no sé, con el Danilo, no, con la Tamara. La Tamara está enseñando el presente perfecto, o ya lo enseñó. Presente perfecto versus past simple, ¿cierto? Ya. Esta frase tiene que ver con eso. Cuando dice, la primera información que tienen es cuando partió el censo, hace miles de años, 5,000 años atrás, ahí partió. Es el starting point. Y hasta llega hasta nuestros días, hasta hoy día, porque se ha hecho por 5,000 años, si calculamos llevamos 5,000 años. Entonces, desde ahí hasta hoy, y hoy quizás continúa y va a continuar. Yeah. In this case, what we are talking about is present perfect. Estamos hablando de un presente perfecto. That maybe Tamara told you that the present perfect is used when you talk about, you see, I mean, actions that started in the past and continue up to the present. Parten ahí. Si tienen una línea de tiempo, here in the past, partió aquí. And then it continues. Sigue hasta hoy. Es el presente perfecto. Partió ahí, pero continúa hasta el presente. Lo mismo que pasa acá. Dice, countries have collected population information for 5,000 years. ¿Fijan? Eso es un presente perfecto. Además, ese for que aparece ahí, eso es un expression of time that is usually used in present perfect. Eso se usa mucho en el presente perfecto. El since, seguramente la Tamara ya se nos dio, since y for. El since se refiere al starting point, al punto de inicio de una acción, por ejemplo, since March, partió en marzo, since March, o since el año tanto, el 2020, since 2020. Y el for es cuando cuenta desde ese momento hasta hoy, cuántos meses hay, cuántos días hay, cuántos minutos hay, cuántos años hay. Pues ahí viene el for. For 5,000 years. Ya.
O
So
sea,
you remember, ¿se acuerdan de eso o no?
Miss,
Yes.
el for es como cuando nos dan el tiempo específico.
El for,
Algo así.
no tan así. El for se refiere al period of time, al periodo de tiempo. Periodo, o sea, es decir, desde cuándo hasta cuándo, pero se cuenta. Por eso se usa, mira, las expresiones que se usan con el for, ¿cuáles son? Por ejemplo, for 4 days. Es un periodo de tiempo, tengo que contar 1, 2, 3, 4. ¿Cuántos días han pasado desde el lunes al jueves? 4 días. Entonces yo cuento 1, 2, 4. Entonces ahí uso 4 days. Si tú dices el since, desde el lunes es el día que se inicia. Since Monday, con los días, porque ese es el starting point. Since Monday se usa el since Tuesday, since Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Since, con el since. For, cuando usan los años, el año es el starting point. Por ejemplo, ustedes iniciaron la carrera, ¿cierto? Han empezado a estudiar inglés. ¿Desde cuándo? Desde 2020. Entonces, yo digo, ¿y desde cuándo? Específicamente, marzo. Ustedes partieron en marzo. Yo digo, my students have studied English since March. Desde marzo a junio es el periodo de tiempo. Lo cuento. Cuando lo cuento, por ejemplo, marzo, abril, mayo, junio. ¿Cuánto tenemos? 4 meses. Ahí uso el for. Entonces yo digo, I have studied English for 4 years. I'm sorry, for 4 months. 4 meses. 4 months. Ahora, por ejemplo, yo puedo decir que Pedrito has studied geometry del año, suponte tú, del año 19 hasta la fecha, 19, 20, son 2 años que lleva estudiando geometría. Entonces yo digo, 2 años. He has studied geometry for 2 years. Pero si me voy al inicio del tiempo, cuando partió, o sea, en el año 2019, entonces digo, Juanito o Pedrito,
Sería
has
since.
studied geometry since 2019. ¿Te fijas la diferencia?
Yes.
Ya. Pero, Maquita, tengo que contar, I have to tell you that there are exceptions. Hay algunas excepciones, como en el idioma. Cualquier idioma está lleno de excepciones. El inglés también. Entonces, hay algunas excepciones del uso del since y del for. ¿Ya? Por ejemplo, cuando tú dices tu edad, ¿ya? Por ejemplo, tú me dices, he vivido en, no sé, pues en Quillota, por ejemplo, he vivido en Quillota desde que era niña, desde que era chica. Hay una expresión, I have lived in Quillota. Since, siempre va a ser con decir, since I was a girl, desde que era niña. Since I was a girl. O since I was, desde que tenía 4 años. Since I was 5 years old. Esas son expressions, right? Ok, y el for siempre es como numérico, es periodo de tiempo, periodo. Por ejemplo, since 4 minutes, 4 minutos, for 4 minutes. 4 minutos han pasado, for 4 minutes. Han pasado 30 minutos, for 30 minutes. ¿Ya? For 4 días, for 4 days, for 5 days, for 4 years, for 10 years, for 20 years. Right? For 4 weeks, 4 semanas han pasado, for 4 weeks. Lo voy contando. Since, cuando me voy al punto de partida, justo, since Monday, desde el lunes. Since 2019, desde el 2019. Since 2019. Since Monday, desde el lunes cualquiera, o since Monday, since Tuesday, since Wednesday, etc. Since I was in school, desde que estaba en el colegio. Since I was in school. Since I was born, desde que nací, expresión. Since I was born. Since I was born. Right? Ok. Desde enero. Mencionan el mes, por ejemplo, since January the 1st. Since March. Since April. Since May. Since June. Etc. Ok. Ya. Entonces, vamos acá de nuevo. Dice, countries have collected population information for 5,000 years. O sea, habría que contar esa cantidad de años para llegar a por 5,000 años que se ha venido, ¿no es cierto?, recolectando la información de la población. Eso es un presente perfecto, porque partió hace 5,000 años atrás, imagínense, hasta nuestros días, y sigue, porque el censo se hizo hace poquito, y seguramente en 4 años más se va a volver a hacer un censo, o 6 años más. No estoy segura en cuántos años es el periodo de tiempo, pero se va haciendo así, en forma, digamos, cada ciertos años. ¿Ok? Ya. So, here, what we are testing, ¿qué estamos evaluando? What are we testing here? In O, en el O, en la O, donde dice O0. The first population information was collected, and then countries have collected population information for 5,000 years. So, here, in this case, this is present perfect. ¿Se dan cuenta? Esto es presente perfecto. Have collected. ¿Se acuerdan o no, baby, de esto? Con la Tamara yo sé que lo están revisando, presente perfecto y pasado simple. ¿Sí? ¿Se acuerdan o no?
Más o menos.
Más o menos. Es grave eso porque el presente perfecto es súper importante en inglés. Es realmente, pero uno tiene que manejarlo, pero súper bien, el presente perfecto. Bueno, después cuando seguramente que nos va a quedar un poquito de tiempo, podríamos hacer un repaso del presente perfecto, ¿ya? A través de un ejercicio, porque así es más fácil para que se vayan dando cuenta de cómo funciona, ¿ya? El presente perfecto. Por ejemplo, yo vivo aquí, ¿cierto? Estoy aquí en esta ciudad, en Viña del Mar, y he vivido acá desde el año, ya no me acuerdo, pero por lo menos creo que unos 20 años que he estado viviendo en Viña y sigo viviendo acá. O sea, Recreo pertenece a Viña. Entonces yo digo, como todavía estoy viviendo aquí, partí viviendo hace 20 años atrás, pero todavía vivo aquí. Y eso es presente perfecto. Si yo digo, I have lived in Viña voy a contar, voy a decir así más o menos el vuelo, for 20 years. I have lived in Valparaiso, or in Viña, or in Recreo, for 20 years. Right? Eso es un presente perfecto. ¿Se fijan? O si yo digo, I have been, yo partí hace muchos años como profe, yo digo, eso es presente perfecto, porque todavía sigo siendo profe. I have, worked as a teacher for 25 or more years. ¿Se fijan? Es un presente perfecto. ¿Ya? Entonces, uno cuando partió en un momento en el pasado, uno parte, pero continúa, hasta los días de hoy, continúa, y todavía lo estamos haciendo, y probablemente voy a seguir. Entonces uno dice, I have worked as an English teacher for many years. ¿Se fijan? Eso es un presente perfecto. El presente perfecto, acuérdense, babies, que está formado por el auxiliar have or has, plus a verb in past participle y un verbo en participio, que en este caso es collected, y el auxiliar es have, y en inglés siempre es I have. Inglés, no castellano, sin traducir. I have. All the singular subjects, todos los singulares, los sujetos, como el he, el she y el it, en el presente perfecto se usan con el has. It has, he has, she has. Plus a verb in past participle. But I, we, you, and they have. I have, you have, they have, we have. Remember, he, she, it, singular, has. Or nouns. O puede ser un noun, right? A noun could be, for example, let's see, the bus has arrived on time, for example. The bus is only one, has. My friend, mi amiga o mi amigo, my friend has lived, ha vivido aquí en esta ciudad, my friend has lived in this city for many years. You see? O si yo digo plural, mis amigos todos, my friends, todos ellos han vivido aquí, have, plural, have lived in this city for many years. ¿Ya? Esa es una idea para que se acuerden. This is present perfect, ya que aparece aquí, en la primera. ¿Ok? And probably in another one. Quizás en otro también aparece. Yeah, let's see. Let's go to number one. Dice, the Chinese government owns the oldest population records in the world. Yeah, Chinese government owns the oldest population records in the world. The oldest population records in the world. Yeah, here in this exercise, in this sentence transformation, the idea is to, let's say, to test different things, not only present perfect. We can also test ing form. We can test vocabulary, word meaning. We can test, for example, negatives and modals, etc. Right? So in this case, what are you going to put? With the same idea, la misma idea, the Chinese government owns the oldest population records in the world. And the oldest population records in the world to the Chinese government. Cata, any idea? Aileen, Macarena, Isidora, no la he visto para nada. What about Cata or Isidora? Any idea?
Since.
Send to the Chinese government.
Mm,
Busque el sentido de lo primero que dice ahí, tiene que ser lo mismo, pero con otro verbo que sea sinónimo probablemente de owns. De owns. Que dice the Chinese government owns the oldest population records in the world. So the oldest population records in the world to the Chinese government. O sea, en otras palabras, lo mismo de arriba, pero en otra forma, y le faltaría el verbo. And the verb has to do with the first, tiene que ver con la primera idea, the own. What could be the verb here? What do you mean by own, Katita? What is own? Own? Do you know the meaning of own?
es como dueño.
Ya, es como pertenecer.
Como
Ya,
pertenece.
pertenece, ¿cierto? Como que el gobierno chino es como el que tiene, ¿cierto? Own, el que posee los registros de la población más antigua en el mundo. Entonces, ese own, vamos a buscarle un sinónimo a ese verbo que diga lo mismo. The oldest population records in the world. Lo posee, o sea, es de ello, como propio. ¿Cuál podría ser? Sinónimo.
Ay.
Ujú. ¿Cómo se dice pertenece, pertenecer a? ¿Cómo se dice pertenecer? Do you remember? The oldest population records in the world. Ajá. Sorry.
¿Owner?
No. Pertenece. ¿Cómo se dice pertenece a? Be. Do you know belong? ¿Conocer el belong? Pertenecer. Belong.
Ah,
Ya, el verbo que debería ser sinónimo de belong, pertenece. Pertenece al gobierno chino. Es lo mismo, porque el gobierno chino lo tiene, él lo posee, o sea, pertenece a él. Belong to the Chinese government. Y el belong siempre lleva el to, belong to, por eso está el to al ladito. Belong to the Chinese government. Entonces, belong, que es B, de larga, B-E-L-O-N-G, belong. Belong to the Chinese government. Okay? Synonym of own. So here we're testing word meaning. Un significado de la palabra. Word meaning. Own, belong. Number 2. It is expensive to collect population information. Okay. It is expensive. Miren la idea. It's expensive. So you need money. It's expensive ¿qué? To collect population information. In other words, taratatan, population information is expensive. What is expensive? ¿Qué es lo que es expensive?
collect.
Yeah. Pero collect, no podemos decir collect information. Do you remember the ING? ¿Se acuerdan del ING form? Que decíamos que también se puede usar el ING form when we talk about subjects en los sujetos. ¿Se acuerdan?
Ay, sí.
¿Se acuerdan donde decía, por ejemplo, escuchar música interesante? Listening to music is interesting. Cuando
Yes.
decíamos go
Collecting.
there is fantastic. Ya, entonces sería collecting. Good. Ese es el ING form. Collecting population information is expensive. Right? Correct. So there you have to put collecting. Collecting. All right. Number 3, it says, the US government started keeping population records in 1790. Yeah. Concentrate on this first sentence first. Think about the context. Piensen en el contexto. Dice, the US government started, yeah, so started keeping, see, what? Population records, when? In 1790. So in this moment, this government, you see, started doing this. Now, we are going to rewrite, vamos a reescribir lo mismo. The US government, etc., population records, since, mira lo que dice ahí, since 1790. Yeah. So I told you, when we have in English, you know, since all the time, from that moment, it means that it started this, partió ahí, since 1970, and the government maybe continúa hasta hoy día. So what tense is this? What tense can you use here? The U.S.
Present
government?
perfect.
Yeah, good. We can complete with present perfect. So, the U.S. government, el government lo vamos a tomar como un collective noun, ¿ok? Como el gobierno, o sea, con toda su gente adentro. Ahí vamos a colocar have, para que sea plural, ¿ya? Porque eso puede ser collective, podría ser colectivo. Todavía no lo aprenden ustedes, pero lo van a aprender el próximo semestre. Pero sería ser have, ¿ya? Have what? What's the verb? What is the main verb? Have. ¿Qué ha hecho el gobierno? Have.
Keep.
Ya, pero el verbo, acuérdense que, remember, present perfect, si lo estudiaron con la Miss, present perfect is used with have or has, ¿cierto? Plus the main verb goes in past participle. Ya, la Isidora ahí otra vez mostró la foto y yo pensé que se había ido. Past participle, okay? Past participle. So the verb is keep. Ustedes conocen el verbo keep, ¿cierto? Ya. Keep es la fórmula así nació. Keep. The past tense of keep, kept. And then we continue with another column. The past participle is kept. So it is repeated. Keep, kept, kept. The last column, la última columna, that is called past participle. So here, remember, present perfect, have or has, plus past participle. So here we have the U.S. government have kept. Exactly. Have kept. Kept. K-E-P-T. Kept. So the U.S. government have kept population records since 1790. All right. So here we are testing present perfect. All right. 4. It's necessary for adults to give information about themselves and their family. Okay. Important. Mire, lo que es importante dice, it is necessary. O sea, esto tiene que hacerse. You have to do this. It's necessary for adults to give information about themselves and their family. So, adults, information about themselves and their families. All right. So, instead of it's necessary, I think about, what are you thinking about? ¿En qué piensas cuando dice it is necessary?
Must.
Ya, vamos a pensar en un modal of obligation, en un modal de obligación. Ya, ok, puede ser must, bien, it could be adult must what? Must give. Ya, must give, tienen que entregar, darle información. Must give information about themselves and their family. Another possibility, babies, here, instead of must.
Puede ser have to.
Sorry, puede ser what?
Have to.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. A eso iba yo, que había otra posibilidad. There is another possibility, que podría ser adults have to give information about themselves. Yes, you're right. Macarena, es correcto eso. You can also use instead of must, have to, porque es el equivalente de must. Se puede. ¿Ok? Must give. Acuérdense que el must y el verbo al lado. Must give. Sin nada. Must give. No information about individual people is shown to the public. Yeah, no information about individual people is shown to the public. So the public isn't shown about individual people. So the public isn't shown here. Here we have to put something with negative. Algo tiene que ver con negativo, aquí con negación, porque dice the public, de acuerdo a lo que dice la primera, tengo que entender la primera, que no information about individual people is shown to the public. So the public isn't shown about, isn't shown information, bien, pero isn't shown any information, tendría que decir yo. No entrega nada de información. The public isn't shown any information. En vez de no information, tenemos que decir any information. So, esa es la negación. Any information. The public isn't shown any information about individual people, right? Cuando está la negación, isn't, ahí para volver a negar tendríamos que usar el any. No podemos decir no. ¿Ya? Entonces, isn't shown any information. No se puede decir no information. Cuando se usa el no, no se pone negación, se pone la N con la O nada más. No information, ¿ya se fijan en la primera? Is shown, no dice isn't. Cambio la segunda, the public isn't, ahí está la negación, isn't shown any, pues ahí se puede usar el any. Isn't shown any information about individual people. So, in number 4 says, look at the answers to the activity 3 and match them with the kind of language that is being tested. Yeah. In number 1, en el número 1, donde dice the oldest population records in the world belong to, ese belong está mostrando que es el meaning de own, el significado de belong, ¿cierto? Own. So, what is tested? Modals were meaning, present perfect, negatives, ing. What is being tested in number 1? According to the exercise 4. Modals of obligation? No, nothing to do with modal. No, there's no modal in number 1, right? Were meaning? Yeah, I think that could be the answer. Present perfect? No, because it doesn't say has or have. Negatives? No. It says were and belong. Ing? No. So what is correct?
Letter C.
In number 1, en la número 1, Cata.
Sí.
En la número 1. ¿Y dónde está el have en la número 1? En la que tú completaste.
Ay,
No está el have ni el has. Dice belong nomás. Belong, que es el
¿B?
meaning de own. B, claro, ese es el correcto. Es 1B. 1B. Because here we are giving the meaning of own. El meaning of own is belong, right? That's why it corresponds to 1. 1B. 1B. B. Number 2. It is expensive to collect population information. Yeah. What are we testing? Collecting. What is collecting?
The ing form.
Yes, very good. So letter E. Number 2 corresponds to letter E. We are testing the ing form. All right. 3. The government, the US government have kept population records. What are you testing? What is have
The
kept?
present perfect.
Yeah, present perfect. So this is 3 corresponds to letter C, present perfect. All right. 4, it's necessary. Yeah, then you put it here, must give, adults must give information or have to give information. What is this?
Modals of obligation.
Yeah, this is a modal of obligation. Very good. So 4 corresponds to letter A. Finally, no information about individual people is shown to the public. The public isn't shown any information. So what is this? What is this? What are they testing? Negative. So 5 corresponds to letter D. Negatives. Okay, good. Yeah. So this is one of the maybe most difficult sometimes exercises in terms of, you know, writing when you have sentence transformation, or also we can test here vocabulary, grammar, you see all these kind of things with this type of exercise. That's very important. Okay, let's go then to the point number 5. What is 5, Catalina? What is point number 5, Cata? What does it say, number 5, in the book?
La pregunta 1, Miss.
5, number 5, what does it say in number 5? Go to point 5 on page 39. This is the next exercise.
Number 5 is negative.
No. The point that we have to go on working. Because we finished with the exercise 3 and 4. And now we have to go to number 5, which is what is this? What does it say in the book?
Ay, no lo entiendo de verdad.
But no, baby, the only thing that I want, lo único que quiero is that you tell me, que me digas, what does it say? ¿Qué dice en el 5? En donde dice speaking, dice 5. What does it say?
Work
Yeah, work
in pairs
in pairs
and
and discuss.
discuss the question.
Yeah, okay, that's what I want. Eso es lo que quería. Thank you very much. So this is what we have to do now, Kata. Work in pairs and discuss the questions. Yeah. And what is the question number 1? Can you read question number 1, Kata?
Yes.
Can you do it, please?
What do you think are the advantages of keeping
Advantages?
population records?
Yeah. Okay, repeat again. What do you think?
What do you think
are the advantages?
are the advantages?
No, repeat again.
Advantage,
Repeat again together with me. Advantages.
advantages
Yeah, that's it. Of keeping population records.
of keeping population records.
Yeah. Now do it again. Now think that you're a native speaker. Créete ahora una gringa. You say, okay. What do you think are the advantages of keeping population records? Now you do it.
What do you think are the advantages of keeping population records?
Yeah, that's better. Ahí está mejor, you see? You're doing better. Now, the only problem is that you didn't mention the S, advantages, advantages. Practice, Katita, all the time, advantages, advantages. And then it comes naturally, okay? Advantages, advantages, disadvantages, etc., okay? So, and then you start, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? La lengüita entre los dientes aquí. Think.
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think are? What do you think are? What do you think are? What do you think are the advantages? Advantages. So you start this practicing all the time. What do you think are the advantages of keeping, you see, population records? All right? Kata, can you do it again?
Yeah.
Can you try? Yeah, okay, good. That's what I like. Do it, please.
What do you think are the advantages of keeping population records?
Records. Records.
Record.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
What do you
Okay.
think?
Yeah, now we're going to concentrate, you see, on this question. What do you think are the advantages? Advantages in English means the good things. What are the good things? Or advantages, right? That's the meaning of advantages. Good things, positive things, good things. What are the advantages of keeping population records? Yeah, so I give it to you. Se las doy. Piensen, think about it. Think about it. I have some ideas, but I want you to think first. What are the advantages of keeping population records? If you have any idea, please tell me.
This from the government, así se dice,
Yeah, okay.
can keep information about the situations of the people,
Yeah.
who they live, and
No who,
how
where
many-
they live, Makita.
where
they live.
where they live,
Mhm.
and how many people lives in the country.
Yeah, how many people live. Acuérdense que people no
Live
lleva ese
in the
cuando
country.
usa people. How many people live in the country? Okay, good. Yeah, you're right. Namaka está correcta. She's okay, yeah, because she's telling me about the advantages of keeping population records. What are the advantages? The advantages are that the government, you see, can know, puede conocer, ¿no es cierto? Can know the rate of population growth, conoce la tasa del crecimiento de la población, first. Can know the territorial distribution, what Macarena mentioned, where people live. If people live, for example, where? In the north of the country, or in the south of the country, or in the central part of the country, right? That is the territorial distribution. All right, that's very important. People can also know, I mean, what are the advantages? Is that the government can have information about, for example, the age of our population. Important, the age. With this information, we can know if our country is an old country or if our country is a young country. I think Chile is an old country because we have many old people, right? All right, what else? What are the other advantages? So remember, the advantages are that with these records, we can know, see the rate of population growth. That means how many people we have in Chile. In other words, we can know the number of inhabitants we have in Chile. And the government can know the territorial distribution of our country. That's to say, how many people live in the north of the country, or in the south of the country, or in the central part of the country. The government can also, you see, another advantage is that the government can have, an idea about, you see, the age of the population. If we are an old country in terms of age, or if we are a young country, right?
I think that the government can know the how many birth or death
Okay.
are in the
Yeah,
ay, no
in
sé,
the
es como
country.
la tasa de mortalidad y natalidad, una cosa así.
Yeah, the rate of birth, la tasa de natalidad, the rate, the rate of birth.
The rate of birth
And death, y muerte, o sea,
and death.
natalidad y muerte, rate of birth and death. Birth es B larga y RTH, birth, B-I-R-T-H, birth. And, y de la muerte, death is D-E-A-T-H, death. Se pronuncia death,
Death.
se escribe D-E-A-T-H, y se pronuncia death, death. So yeah, that's a very good thing. You see, this is another advantage that the government can have an idea about our rate of birth and death. Bien, good. That's a very good thing. The government can also know maybe the gender distribution, la distribución de género. También es importante la distribución de género. Gender se escribe gender, con G de gato, gender. Gender distribution, distribution. So the government can know the gender distribution. That's to say, for example, how many men we have in the country and how many women we have in the country. With this idea, we can have a picture of, you see, the number of women, if we are more women, or if we have less or maybe few men. ¿Somos más hombres o más mujeres? También es importante. Ese dato es súper interesante. Men and women. What else? Cata, do you have any idea? Or Aileen, any idea about this? Or Isidora, any idea about, you see, the advantages of keeping these population rate records? No? We can also know the socioeconomic levels. Socioeconomic levels. O sea, los niveles socioeconómicos. Súper importante eso para un país. So the government can know the socioeconomic levels. This is an important information. It's a very good advantage because with this information, the government can, for example, ask investors to come to Chile to do business, right? So this is, or maybe or even to Chilean people that are interested in doing business in our country. Okay? And with this information, you see, the government can, for example, create new, maybe political policies. Con toda esta información que estamos hablando, ¿qué hace el gobierno? Bueno, tiene que tomar toda esta información y crear, ¿no es cierto?, political o policies. Policies son las políticas, policies, right? In terms of, por ejemplo, in terms of what? If you have more people living, por ejemplo, hay más gente viviendo, if there are more people living in, let's see, pensemos, a ver, in the, for example, in, where? Maybe in Chile Chico, than in another part. So what does the government have to do? It has to start thinking that that city or that town needs to have a hospital, a school, right? You see, so he needs to have the services, at least the most important services that a city needs. See, that's why this is very important.
It's the form that government can know
Yeah.
the how can they give the service?
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
population.
yeah, Macarena, this is correct. You see, this is the way, you know, the government can know, for example, where, donde, where, for example, to provide more resources. ¿Dónde tiene que dar más recursos? Where the government has to provide more resources, for example. You see that the city, por ejemplo, que la ciudad, that the city needs, you see. Or with this information, con esta información, when you mentioned, ustedes mencionaron, you mentioned about, for example, that this, the advantages is that we have information about the number of people that, the number of people that is working, or the number of people that is unemployed, está cesante, unemployed, cesante, unemployed. So with this is an important information. Es muy importante to see, for example, how poverty is, cómo están los niveles de pobreza de un país. Y ahí tienen que empezar a hacer políticas para bajar los niveles de pobreza. So to decrease, you know, the levels of poverty. Para eso son los censos. If they don't have any idea, si no tienen idea de lo que pasa en Chile, estamos mal. We are very bad if we don't have this information, right? So it's important, or it's important, for example, to see that today women are not very interested in having babies. This is another relevant fact. Es un hecho muy relevante, because that means that in the future, the country is going to be more, or it's going to be older than you know, what it is today. Get it? ¿Lo entienden o no? Do you have an idea? This is something
Yes.
cultural. Esto es cultural, que también tienen que saber de cultura, valores, cultura, right? This is important that we consider in our units, right? Because you are going to be English teachers, and the students are going to ask you, Miss, what is a census? What is that? And what do people do, etc. You see? So that's why this is important, right? To have this kind of information, at least to have a general idea, tener una idea general, ¿qué es un censo? Right? Okay. Any other thing that you want to add? Yeah. Mañana, babies, la Catalina, la Irene, la Maca, la Isidora, que la estoy mirando ahí en una foto solamente, no la he escuchado. You are going to write, van a escribir una respuesta bien bonita, completa, para el ejercicio, para la pregunta 1, que dice, what do you think, lo que hemos hablado y que la Macarena participa harto. What do you think are the advantages of keeping population records? No importa que se equivoquen en el inglés, porque lo podemos arreglar acá. Pero yo quiero que, y pueden investigar en internet, etc. Una respuesta que sea completita, unas 5 líneas, no más que eso. Y en la número 2 dice, do you think that too much information about us is recorded? Why? And how will this change in the future? Do you think that too much information about us is recorded? ¿Ustedes creen que es mucha la información que se registra o no acerca de nosotros? Nosotros, los habitantes de Chile, los ciudadanos del país. Si es así, si creen que sí, ¿por qué? Si no, creen que no, ¿y por qué? And how will this change in the future? ¿Cómo lo cambiaría en el futuro?
Se supone que es como la información cambiaría en el futuro o
No, no, how will this, I mean, ¿cómo está, porque dice, how do you think that too much information about us is recorded? ¿Tú crees que esto es mucha la información que se registra, que se guarda? ¿Por qué? Si es así,
Miss,
¿por qué? Y si es no, espérate. How will this, ¿cómo esto podrá cambiar en el futuro? O sea, a lo mejor guardar tanta información o ustedes harían otra cosa.
ya.
¿Mm?
Miss,
¿Sí, Cata?
Para la pregunta que va dentro de la 2, esa la que dice, how will
This
this
change?
change in future?
¿Mm?
Change. ¿Esa sería como también como opinión nuestra o
Sí.
tenemos que investigarla?
No, no, esa es su opinión. How will this change in the future? ¿Cómo esto cambiará en el futuro? ¿Cómo creen ustedes que esto cambiará en el futuro? ¿Va a mantenerse así?
Ah,
¿No está?
ok.
¿O habrá otra cosa? Porque en el futuro siempre las cosas cambian. Everything is changing. Maybe this will change in different ways. Maybe the census can be shorter
Online.
and online. Claro, puede ser. Online. Sí, podría ser online. Because if it is online, they save money. Because when you have a census, you spend money, you spend a lot of money because you need people to go from house to house and to go not only in Viña Valparaiso, along the country, even in Easter Island, in Juan Fernandez, even in all these places, we need people that, work in the census. So we need, we spend a lot of money. We have to pay these people. Le pagan a esa gente. They pay these people and also they have to give food. They tienen que dar alguna cosa de food, algo, para que no se vayan a morir de hambre. You see, they have to give food that day, ese día, that day, they give food. And also they give a course, un curso para entrenamiento. They give a training course, in order to know how to do it. ¿Se fijan? Entonces, es expensive, es caro, sale caro hacer un censo en un país. So maybe, how will this change? ¿Cómo esto podrá cambiar esto de tener información y de registrar tanta información? Ustedes tienen ideas, you have ideas, good ideas, buenas ideas, I think. ¿Ya? ¿Estamos o no estamos? Are we or not? ¿Me entendieron lo que tienen que hacer? Ya, mañana, entonces me lo van a leer mañana, escríbanlo, me lo leen mañana. Traten de practicar el inglés. Advantages, remember, advantages are, right? All right? Hasta ahí vamos a llegar. Es medio cansado porque es como cultura general. Yes, Cata? Any question?
No, le estaba diciendo que sí que había entendido la pregunta que le hice.
Ok, baby, good.
Me too.
Ya, ¿y la Ilén? Also? I guess she's not there. Parece que no está la Ilén ahí. Y la Isidora, I don't know if she has the microphone. All right, baby. So see you tomorrow. Tomorrow you have to remember, you write the answers to these two questions and we can review tomorrow.